Espresso Round. Let's check y'all's knowledge around the NFL. JB, I'm going to start with you. Buffalo is the only team to lose the most Super Bowls in the NFL.
False.
Do you care to tell us who else?
No.
Did I set you up? Did I set you up?
Yeah, you actually did. I feel a little disrespected already.
Hey, I'm sorry, baby. You've been
Shots
missing two
fired
weeks.
already.
You've been missing 2 weeks, man. We got to start them. So, just to educate people, it's Buffalo, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Denver Broncos all have 4 losses. The only reason Buffalo's seem so together is because they lost them 4 in a row. So
They're the most recent.
sorry to Bills Mafia.
Yeah.
Jeho,
Yeah.
names were put on the back of jerseys. The names that were put on the back of the jersey started in the 60s. True or false?
Might have to say true.
Yeah, it did start in the 60s. I don't have they didn't have an exact date, but it was in the 60s. Shout out ESPN.
Yeah.
Borba. Lions are the most recent team to lose all 16 games. True or false?
Pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, in 2008. It's probably the most rough moments for Detroit fans. Shout out Miles Hamilton.
0-16.
Through. All right, Geronimo, we got Hall of Fame is in Green, Ohio.
Is in where?
In Green, Ohio.
No, it's in Canton.
There you go. Education. Those were fairly easy. Next week, I'm coming at you, JB, so be ready.
All right.
All right, my guys. So let's go. Let's get it popping again. We got just to let the arms loose just a little bit. Let's talk about where's the pressure.
Where's the pressure?
On this segment here, guys, I just want to know what you guys think between the two guys that I named and who y'all think has the most pressure. Not necessarily who's going to win the game, but who has the most pressure out of the two. So let's start off with Nick Foles or Lamar Jackson.
Who's going first on this one?
Oh, my bad. Geronimo, I'll start with you.
Nick Foles or Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, Nick Foles or Lamar Jackson.
I mean, it'd have to be Lamar Jackson.
Why do you? What makes you think that?
Because he had like an amazing year last year, and so he has to like show out this year. I mean, for him, it's either Super Bowl or nothing, and especially like losing to like what some teams that ain't that good or like playoff caliber. It's just
Yeah.
He's gonna show out.
JB, what do you think?
Here's my thing. I think it's 100% Lamar Jackson. Like right now, Lamar Jackson, his knocks, like yeah, he was MVP last year, but his knocks are: can he be a good like pocket passer, throwing deep outside the numbers? Can he be accurate? Right now, I mean, who's his rivalry, or would you call it a rivalry? In Patrick Mahomes, he still has not beat him yet. Patrick Mahomes still has his number. Like it it almost is turning into like what Tom Brady and Peyton Manning used to be, out of the AFC, and Peyton Manning like had little success against the Patriots, but he did beat him a couple times, to but that's still like yet to be seen out of Lamar Jackson. Like, if they want to go to the Super Bowl, they're gonna have to go through Patrick Mahomes. And right now that's his kryptonite. He can't beat him.
Yeah.
And so I think once he does that, then you can start, calling it a rivalry and all that stuff. But that's their kryptonite. They can't beat that team right now. They can't beat that quarterback who's the best in the league. Like he's got to go through the best to be the best. So that's how I see it.
One thing I noticed from you guys is y'all didn't mention the fact that who they're even playing. Does that show that we really don't care who he plays? It's a matter of winning those primetime games.
I think so.
Yeah, I think like they should have beat Pittsburgh last week. So like when he can't win those games, like that just shows that he doesn't have what it takes to get to the next level.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
I feel like when
obviously,
he's going up against a better quarterback, he can't.
It seems,
He
yeah, it seems like
he
he
can't
folds.
win.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the stuff that I had seen is a lot of people are discrediting the fact that Pittsburgh played a better game. I understand the fact that Lamar Jackson had 3 turnovers and didn't look as great, but there's a reason for that. It's not like he just had a bad game. I mean, the guy had a bad game because that Steeler defense was continually putting pressure on him and forcing him to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. That seems to be Lamar Jackson's biggest struggle right now. Statistically being, Lamar Jackson cannot throw the ball when he's forced to stay in the pocket. And if I'm a Baltimore fan, I mean, I'm not excited unless this guy shows some type of improvement. And we've seen, I mean, if you guys could disagree with me or not, but we've really have not seen any type of improvement from Lamar Jackson inside the pocket.
No, I agree with that.
yeah, he hasn't really grown on that area.
All right, guys, let's move on to the next guys. I got Josh Allen or you got Cam Newton on Monday night against the Miami Dolphins.
Ooh,
I'll start with you, JB.
who's the first one that you said?
Uh, Josh Allen or Cam Newton.
I think 100%. There's pressure on Josh Allen because he's got the team around him, but when they've played, a good team this year, they've just completely shut down. Like they're just not. Their offense has not looked good, and he's got to prove himself that he can win against good teams. Against a good defense, he's got to be able to lead his team, and I have not seen that out of Josh Allen, and I've always knocked him for that. Like I'm still not sold on Josh Allen. Like, yeah, has he gotten better every year? Yeah, but he's got to start winning these games. If he wants to help his team contend and be a contender in the AFC, he's got to win these games. But I haven't seen that. I have not really seen that this year. So
Yeah, 100%. Um, Jay, what do you think?
Yeah, I'd have to go with Josh Allen as well. I mean, Cam really doesn't have an offense, and what he was able to do to them last week was just like, Josh Allen has to step up. He was going against the beat up Patriots. Um, he should have just like murked Patriots, honestly. But his offense isn't rolling. He isn't really getting it done, and he
Yeah.
has a good squad around him. So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I 100% agree with both of you guys. I was sort of leaning towards Cam Newton, but there can't be any pressure on the fact that the team just isn't good. And one thing is a lot of people are discrediting Cam Newton's ability to play. I mean, the guy can ball. Let's remember that this team has 7 players that opted out for COVID, and on top of that, it's still the same offense or worse from last year that Tom Brady had. I mean, that team was only being carried by the defense. So lay off of Cam Newton just a little bit. The guy's going to get signed next year, and he's probably going to ball out. I mean, the guy's obviously good. It's just hard to throw when you ain't got shit to throw to. Unfortunate. But Josh Allen does have to step up, especially going against Seattle today. And if he doesn't, there's going to be a whole lot of question marks. All right, let's move on. We got Drew Brees or Tom Brady. I don't want you guys to give me a winner. I don't want you guys to predict the scores or anything. I just want to know where the pressure is on these two old men. This is like a Mike Tyson, Jones Jr., November 28th type deal. What do you guys think? JB, Tom Brady or Drew Brees?
I think all this entire offseason, I think it's been Tom Brady. 100%. I think he's got probably the most pressure on him besides any other player in the league right now. So and the signing of Antonio Brown doesn't help that either. So I mean, there's just all the marbles are just put into the season. Like if you don't win a Super Bowl this season, that's how I feel like it's such a bust if they don't come out of the NFC on top this
Yeah.
season. There's just so much pressure. You got all these weapons around you. Gronk comes out of retirement. I mean, and also like there's so many people saying, "Oh, Tom Brady's just a system quarterback. He's going to be nothing without Bill Belichick." And then every time he loses, I see that. I see that everywhere on comments everywhere like, "Oh, Tom Brady ain't the go." Like blah blah, all this nonsense. So I just feel like there's so much pressure on Tom Brady to lead this team to a Super Bowl, and the signing of Antonio Brown just escalates that even more. So I mean, 100% Tom Brady.
Yep. Solid. Jay, what do you got?
I mean, it's Tom Brady. Clearly, he left this whole 20-year organization for a Super Bowl to win a
Yeah.
Super Bowl. Tampa Bay. So I mean, all the pressure's on him, especially going up against like New Orleans. Takes you back to week 1 where they lost like 34-23 or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, so that's got to weigh on him too. So he's got to go out there and show that that obviously the signing of Antonio Brown and moving to Tampa Bay was the right thing and trying to get the job done and be the leaders of that division.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I agree with you guys again, 100%. I do think there's a little bit of pressure on Drew Brees, given the fact that this is probably his last year. I think Tom Brady probably sits out on another year or two, but Drew
Yeah,
Brees,
I think so too.
this is definitely it for Drew Brees. So it's about winning these big games because we've seen him completely drop the ball, especially in the playoffs. For example, prime example, last year against the Minnesota Vikings, just completely wet the goddamn bed. The offense was stagnant. They got Michael Thomas back today, so it's going to be interesting to see what that offense does. But the pressure is 100% on Tom Brady. There's no way to question it. The guy came like Kevin Durant to a team that was already. They looked good, right? Defensively, they were already pretty good. Offensively, they were pretty solid, but what's his name could not stop throwing the ball to the other guys. So Tom Brady was pretty much set up to win. Now it's a matter of getting the job done. So, and like you guys said, Antonio Brown coming to that team, that just escalates everything. It's crazy. It's crazy. There's no way. I mean, Antonio Brown, as of right now, you guys tell me, is he still considered like top 5, top 10 wide receiver in the NFL without have played a single game?
I believe so. I mean, the wide receiver, position in this league has gotten a lot more athletic, a lot more skilled. Like you see, there's so many teams with good wide receivers now. Like I feel like every team's got a good wide receiver, and they're just all coming up like so quick. I don't know if it's because the rules now. It's a lot. Defenders can barely touch a receiver or whatever, but there's so many receivers excelling. Like there's a lot of good receivers, but I think I'd still put him top 10 right now.
Yeah.
As of right now, I think I'd still go top 10 at least, and then from there, see how he
Yeah.
balls out.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I mean, and I read somewhere that that Tampa Bay was pretty stunned of how physical and good in shape he still was.
Yeah.
Um, so I think he's gonna be pretty scary to defend.
Yeah. He's got nothing else to do, right? Other than lift and work out. So
Yeah.
that and fight his civil lawsuits. That I did see Adam Schefter reported that this morning that he's still going to be going through that. So it's still it's still depending the outcome of that civil suit. I think it's like domestic violence or some shit like that. The NFL typically suspend players over that, so it's not going to be surprising that Tampa Bay took a risk just for this guy to get suspended again. But it's all a matter of how long Roger Goodell is going to actually suspend him for, because they
Yeah.
really just want him for the back end of the season and the playoffs. So it's gonna be interesting to see. All right, that was it for that, guys. Let me just hit this real quick. Do not forget to get your Sunday special from La Gavita, 32-ounce cup, all the goodies, bread for only $10. You can get menudo or pozole. Check them out on Facebook, La Gavita. Get your order in today. Free delivery only today. Get it in ASAP. Whoever's hungover, whoever had a bad night, get your order in and let it out. All right, baby. I got a little special for you guys. It's a get off me segment. So you guys watch it, narrate it, and let's go. Get off me. Ooh, Justin Herbert. This guy's still legit, man. Mike Williams with the one-handed grab. You guys can see this, yeah?
I can see it on my
Mhm.
tablet,
Yeah, I'm watching.
so I'm a little delayed.
Oh, okay. It's all good. We got Ryan Tannehill. It's not Antonio Brown, but it's AJ Brown, baby. Get off me. What you want? All right, man. What do we got here? We got Derek Carr slinging the rock. This isn't the greatest, but it's a one-handed catch with a nice little hit there at the end. This was probably one of the worst highlights I had gotten, but it's all good. You got Darius Landry with the one-handed snag, baby. Man, this Browns team has been a disappointment, huh?
Oh yeah. I don't care if they're 5 and what are they 5-3? They're 5-3 now.
Yeah, yep. Yo,
Yeah,
oh,
I mean,
let's
I could see another 8-8
bring in the
season.
defense in here just a little bit. Yeah, yeah. I had to give some defensive highlights because there was some smackaroonies up in here. Look at this. Yakam.
Yep. You just wanted
Whoa.
everybody to see that Carson Wentz highlight. That's
Sure
all it
did.
was.
And this one. Oh, baby.
That was a good one.
Jimmy. And your
I
boy,
wish I
Teddy
wasn't delayed.
Two.
I'd be commenting on this
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep you on,
because I
but
can't. I just can't see it on the app.
Yeah, I'm delayed as well.
oh god.
Ooh, that was a good hit though.
So everybody just heard me talk. Damn it.
Basically.
It's all good. That's a segment called "Get Off Me."
Get off me!
There you go. Bet the line, baby. Bet the line. I took these games off of quick picks because they're hard to bet on. These are the borderline picks, guys. I want you to tell me if we're gonna bet the over, the under, or if it's just too much to really make the bet and you just would rather stay away. Okay. So we got the Chiefs favorites at 10.5 points over the Carolina Panthers. Do the Chiefs cover it, or is this just too much to play with?
I feel like they could cover that. I think that's doable.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey is playing today. Just throwing it out there. I mean,
Maybe.
we
I
saw the
don't know.
difference that Dalvin Cook made, but
I don't know.
Yeah, they could cover easily.
yep. All right, cool. So you
Can't
guys are
can't sleep on
same.
the Panthers. I can't sleep on the Panthers though, so that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one,
This,
honestly.
is this one that you sit out?
Yeah, I'm not risking anything on that for sure.
I mean, Panthers lost by almost 10 to Atlanta last week, so I mean, this is
Yeah.
Kansas. This is
That's
Kansas
true.
City. I'm
And
sure they.
Chris Jones is also activated from the COVID list, so he's also going to be playing. Easy said bet. I also think you bet it. I think you do risk betting this though because of Christian McCaffrey, but I don't know that the offense has the same effect as Minnesota did last week with Dalvin Cook. So I would just based off of that, I would take that bet. Let's move on to the next one. You got the Patriots -8 favorites against the Jets. This one's actually to me scary. I think I would lay off of it, but I could see where someone would want to bet the over to get covered. What do you guys think?
I feel like the Patriots should win this game and be able to cover. Because
Yep.
I mean, Jets are just Jets are dumpster fire.
I actually forgot to throw out the Jets yesterday. I just set the bag on the floor in my backyard, so I do
Yeah,
have to still
literally.
go throw them later. That is how bad they are. So the
Yeah.
Patriots cover, baby. All
I
right,
don't want to say anything, man, because
go ahead.
if
Go
we
ahead.
look at Jets, I don't. I'm just not gonna be around for anyone to see me for the rest of the season.
Yo, that's what's scary though, right? Is like we're shitting on the Jets, but let's not forget that the New England Patriots don't look that great either. Even though they're coming off a loss, we're gonna assume that Bill Belichick has the game plan, so on and so forth, blah blah. But at the end of the day, the guys still have to go play. But it is Cam
Yeah,
Newton, and Cam Newton is obviously the best player on that field on both teams. So I'm gonna still say that the Patriots cover the spread. Next one, we're gonna move on to the Dolphins versus the Cardinals. I 100% bet this one already. I put $30 on the Cardinals to cover at -4.5. The odds were sitting at 110. Do the math. I think 20. I think we won 28, $27, something like that. So for $30, we won $27. I bet this. I think the Cardinals put it on them. I think the Dolphins. I mean, Tua looked and did not look good at all whatsoever. The guy threw 12 passes, 80 yards, or completed 12 passes, about roughly around 80 yards. It didn't look
Yeah.
very good. The offensive line allowed him to get smacked up. This Cardinals offensive line is also pretty decent. Their secondary is getting even better, but this offense is going to put up points. It's just a matter of, to me, the real question is do we think Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in today? Or is this just an investment that the Dolphins have made that regardless of the outcome, Tua is our quarterback?
Yeah, I think they're gonna stick with Tua no matter what happens. It's just all a learning experience. I think and even if if he is playing bad, I feel like today he's really going to have more of an opportunity to be able to throw the ball. Uh, just because how the game's going to play out. They're going to have to put up points to keep up with, Arizona. So I think they're going to let the offense, open up a little bit more this week. Let Tua, try to get into a rhythm, establish the ground game, get some short passes off, and then work from there, and then try to expand the field from there. I think he can do it, honestly. Like I expect it to be a close game. Honestly, I like what the Dolphins are doing. They're literally a team that started from the bottom of the bottom, and they're working their way up. Like they can possibly make a playoff push. Like I like what they're doing. So I think they're going to use Tua right, and they're just. I think it's going to be a close game for sure. I don't know if I would bet this either.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet on this. I mean, you're going Arizona, correct, Renee?
Yep. I already did, so there's no going
I
back.
already did it.
I mean, yeah, no, I think Miami's gonna take it, and I'm pretty sure it'll be like up 4.
See, I feel
But I'm
like
gonna bet on.
what was I trying to say? Lost my train of thought.
Hey,
But
J-Hope,
I can understand the reason you bet on this because you're not sold on Tua right now. So I can see why you bet on it. So that's a good reason to bet on it because what he did last week, you're like, oh,
yeah,
you
and
don't know what he's gonna do from week to week.
Miami really, I mean, special teams displayed themselves. Their defense really showed how decent they are as far as pass rush, and they showed how good they can be. I just don't see that happening back to back weeks. That's why I'm edging out that they cover, and it's only 4.5 points, so it's
Yeah.
not much. I would tell you guys to bet if you're a better bet. This is one of the games I would bet on, but like they said, there's a possibility that it can not get covered. J-Ho, I don't know if you can see the comments. Can you see the comments?
Uh,
It over here. Yeah.
Yeah, Nate Reyes said, "What's up?" And then,
Yeah, what's up, Nate?
oh man,
oh shit,
these comments are
Hey,
funny. I figured J-Mo would be wearing a Bucks hat.
yo,
That's
Nate, that
funny.
is the
hey,
funniest shit I've heard in a long time, my guy. I'm not
you
gonna
don't
be
want me to
that.
pull out that jersey, man.
I'm not gonna be that desperate chick that gives everybody my cash app. But it's Renee Ruiz
Start up
14.
an
You know what I
OnlyFans,
mean?
baby.
Yeah. Oh shit, Nate, you're a fool, bro. All right, man. Let's jump on. Let's jump on these quick picks. Um, Borba, I'm gonna start with you. We got the Broncos heading over to Atlanta. Atlanta still has no fans, but what do you
The way you
Damn.
say that.
Oh snap, bro! What do you think the
uh,
outcome of that's gonna be?
honestly, I like the way that Denver is looking right now. They're getting healthier. I mean, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, that looks like it's coming together. So I really like what Denver's doing. I like how their defense is playing. I'm going Denver. Uh, I feel like Atlanta's just there. It's just in their blood to just choke games. They just can't finish games, and it's just a culture thing. Like you gotta find something to change that culture. And I mean, it could be a new coach, whatever. But man, it's rough. It's rough for Atlanta right now. So I'm gonna go Denver. I like the way they're looking. I like the way that it looks like they're starting to get healthy. So I'm gonna go Denver right here.
With,
Yeah, I
with
like
that, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
I like Atlanta if it was a 3-quarter game,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna have to go Denver. Um, I mean they're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
the only problem with both two teams is they both don't like to finish games. It's super confusing, but it seems like Denver's edged out the most out of them. Um,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Atlanta squeezes this one out because I feel like they caught some momentum. We saw this last year where they caught momentum during the back end of it. I feel like they caught a little bit of momentum. They got a new coaching staff right now that has some huevos. We've seen them go for it on a couple fourth downs, which is, I mean, that always shows that you're passionate and that you're about winning. So I think Atlanta edges it out today. I'm not really sold on Drew Lock much. Not yet. I think he still obviously has a lot to learn, but Atlanta's the more established team. I feel like they're going to run on some momentum from last week, and they'll probably edge this out. But if you're a better, stay away. Stay away. All right, let's go on to this next one. Jay, I got you with the Texans and the Jaguars. Two awful teams. Deshaun Watson's obviously the best player on that field. What do you think's going on there?
I mean, I don't even know. Like, I would go with Texans. I mean, I went Texans on my pick'ems, but that's just like a game you're just throwing in the air, see who could jump the highest and get that W.
Yeah, 100%
I mean,
agree.
they're both struggling. They're both pretty awful right now.
Yeah, it's two bad teams jockeying for for a draft pick spot pretty much. Uh, Jaguars. I think they set Gardner. I don't know if he's gonna be playing this week or is he?
No,
I'm
he's
not
out.
sure. He's out.
Minshue's out. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go Texans. You definitely got to go Texans. You know what it's like to have your whatever third string quarterback in the game. So
yeah, for
so
sure. I mean,
so yeah, there's just no, there's no, yeah. Jaguars are playing for a pick.
Yeah, for sure.
They're playing for their future jobs and careers and their resumes. That's what they're doing.
For
Trying
sure.
to make the resumes look good.
Let's go Giants, Redskins. I think this is a tight game. Well, I actually think the Giants edge this out. A lot of people got Washington winning this game. I think the Giants edge it out. The Giants have been playing pretty decent. They just can't finish games either. It's just bad teams can't finish games. They start off hard, but Danny Dimes, all he has to do is throw a couple dimes, especially against this Washington team that's still trying to figure themselves out. I'm going New York.
Okay. The thing the thing with Danny Dimes, I like his arm. I like some of the passes looks really good. But his problem right now, he's really turnover prone. So if he can just hold on to the ball, no fumbles, no picks, I really like New York's chances in this game. But I know Washington's defense is going to make that hard. I expect it to be a close game. I'm pulling for the Giants though. I think the Giants might have the edge. They've been looking decent these past few weeks. So just limit the turnovers and execute on offense, and I think it's good news for Giants.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I might have to go with Washington. I mean, I think they're coming off a bye. Yeah, it's a toss-up, but they're coming off a bye, and I think Ron Rivera is going to have them ready to go. And Giants did a hell of a job with the Tampa Bay last week, and so that kind of gives them a little edge. I mean, they took the L, but I still think Ron Rivera and the Washington team is going to come prepared and take that W.
Yeah, and that's valid. It's a coin flip, like we said. And the Giants were playing on prime time. Everybody was watching. So there's a different groove to those types of games. This is an 11 o'clock game. May not give you the same hype that another game would. So it's not going to be surprising if either team loses. Do not bet on this team unless you got some cojones. But this is a toss-up. All right, let's move on. We got the Raiders versus the Chargers. I think the Raiders, I'm not sold on the Raiders. I'm really not sold. I still don't think Derek Carr is that guy. But that offense is playing good. Josh Jacobs is out today, so I think that's a major hit on that team, especially given the fact that he's probably their best player. I think the Raiders edge this out, but this one is a scary one because the Chargers have shown that they can ball out, and Herbert is the guy.
Yeah.
In LA, he's the guy. So, I mean, their biggest problem is they can't close out games. The only difference is this team is like Atlanta. They're putting it on them. And then they start giving up the lead, and slowly the confidence goes down, and out of nowhere, they're either losing or it's a tight game. So I think the Raiders have the most pressure. They have to win this game in order to stay in the playoff race. But I think they edge it out.
The thing is, I think the Raiders have gotten a lot better this season. Josh Jacobs, that's a huge blow. And the thing is with the Chargers, like whoever they've gone up against, they've been able to compete. And Justin Herbert he's right now he's playing the best I think out of that rookie draft class for sure. Like I think he's got so much potential. So they just can't finish off games. Like I don't know why they've had the same problem with Philip Rivers in the past. You know, they've just had devastating losses, and if they got to turn it around. So I think I'm leaning towards Chargers this weekend. Like just start changing that culture. Like they got this young quarterback. I mean, just start stringing together some wins. I feel like they should. They're a better team than what their record is. So I'm gonna go Chargers right here, just for the fact that Josh Jacobs he's a huge part of that offense. So there's gonna be more pressure on Derek Carr going up against a good defense. You know, so we'll see how that plays out. That's gonna be an interesting game, but I'm going Chargers.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, I think Raiders are gonna have fun with that defense. I mean, I'm gonna go Raiders all the way. Herbert is doing good. I mean, they are a good team. They keep up with the games. They're close on games. They don't lose by much. But I mean, I think Las Vegas Raiders sitting at 4-3. They're gonna have to. They're going out there to prove something that they should be in a playoff talks.
Yeah,
And so I think they're gonna go out there and take that dub.
good point.
Sweet. All right, let's go. Damn, I'm getting all choked up just bringing up this damn game.
Me too.
Steelers and Cowboys.
Steelers.
I have the mop ready. I assume that the Pittsburgh Steelers are just going to completely mop the floor with us. I mean, I'm talking Fabuloso, Bleach, Wada, everything. They're ready. They're going to completely mop the floor with us. People are talking about that this game is the trap game. It's a possibility, but we're on our fourth string quarterback.
Yeah, I
Come
don't think
on,
there's
man.
no such thing as a trap game when you're on your fourth string.
Zach Martin is the only healthy lineman on that offensive line. Zeke may not even play. At this point, he's questionable. The only thing we have going for us is what that defense that we saw be displayed last week. And I'm sorry, guys, but I love the Cowboys. That's my squad. But I'm telling you, I'm not putting my money, not even to cover the spread. I don't even think we cover at 14 points. I honestly think we get beat down, and we might see our fifth string quarterback at this point, which is Cooper Rush. I'm not sold. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna watch it. I hope Dallas somehow pulls an upset. They're at a plus 800 underdog. So if you got $50 just to bullshit, I guess you could throw it on there. But I'm sorry, man. I don't feel good about this whatsoever. Yeah,
I'm putting my money on y'all make 2 field goals. That's it today.
6 points. Nice, short and sweet. JV, what you got?
This game's gonna be over fast. I'm going Steelers. You know, I think it's gonna be a runaway. Like, yeah, you can't call it a trap game when you're on your fourth string quarterback who's making his first start. You know, like you just can't call it a trap game. I can understand if you have Dak back there and you guys are not playing very good, and yeah, it's a trap game for sure. But there's just, I mean, we saw last week you guys just couldn't complete a 15-yard pass. So I can only imagine what this fourth string guy who's starting. Who is it?
I don't even know that we threw the ball in front of the line of scrimmage. The shit was embarrassing.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
It's sad to say. I used to get excited about talking about the Cowboys in the segments, but goodness.
Even your pain.
My goodness, man, it's gonna be a rough game.
Yeah,
Ben Roethlisberger, that offense is gonna have a field day too.
Yeah.
Claypool and Juju are just gonna be practicing out there.
All right, that's
They're
enough.
gonna be making TikToks halfway through the game.
That's enough. God, man. Y'all leave them alone. Shit.
It's not even gonna be close.
All right, let's move on. All right, we got the Lions against the Minnesota Vikings. Me and Earl last week we talked about what huge of a difference maker Dalvin Cook was. And I mean, he proved it. He showed it. But he exploited Green Bay's terrible.
What were you guys saying before the game on your predictions?
Before that game?
Yeah.
No, we 100% thought Green Bay was gonna win. I think he had them winning by 10. I think I said about 2 scores, so like 4. I think I said like 14 or something like that. What we did say, both of us agreed on this. I said it is that the only thing that's scary about that game is Dalvin Cook playing, because unlike Christian McCaffrey, this is what I was kind of trying to edge in a while ago. Is unlike Christian McCaffrey, this team literally runs off of Dalvin Cook. Like without Dalvin Cook, there's no Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah.
This team is 100% sold on Dalvin Cook, which is the reason they paid him, and he should have gotten paid. The guy just got to stay healthy though, and for that exact reason, Dalvin Cook is going to continue the momentum from last week, and he's going to ball out. I mean, we haven't seen anything from Detroit that says, "Oh shit!" And they got their best DB hurt, and Galladay's out. There's just no way that I can see them edging out. The only way they stay in this game is the simple fact that Matthew Stafford, that dog, is on that team. Other than that, this should be a one. I would say a fairly easy win for the Minnesota Vikings at 10 points.
Well,
let's let Geronimo throw his input in before
Yeah.
you give us your.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Detroit. I mean,
Detroit.
Yeah, I believe in Stafford. I think this is like the third game Adrian Peterson's gonna play against Vikings, his former team, one of his former teams. So I'm gonna have to give the little edge to Detroit. You know what I mean?
Dang, AP's gonna go off on y'all.
Yeah, that old man's gonna go in. Watch.
How pissed are you if this guy has 100 yards?
I could see that happening the way our rush defense has been. But anyways, okay. Every time we play the Lions, Matt Stafford's always making plays against us. Like he's keeping his team in the game, and that's what's scary is Matt Stafford can light up this secondary. So that's scary. And then the fact that you got Adrian Peterson, who he's going to be motivated to come into US Bank Stadium, make a statement against his former teammates, his former team, and also Everson Griffin's first game. I do not want to see Everson Griffin sacking Kirk Cousins. Like that's going to do some weird things to my mental health. Like that's so weird to me, like seeing Everson Griffin possibly make plays like that against us. So they got some guys that they're hyped, they're juiced up to play against their former team. But here's the thing with us. I think obviously our record does not show like we're not a typical 2-5 team. We've lost to 2 undefeated teams at the time by 1 point, to Tennessee and Seattle. We lost to them by 1 point. We're a young team. I think we're slowly getting better. I think we had our best defensive game. We played really good against Green Bay, and I was actually really surprised, especially from, how Devontae Adams lit us up in week 1. And last week he has like 70 yards. Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns, but we limited, because he just had him on the goal line, like no big plays, nothing crazy like that. So we kind of limited Devontae Adams' production against us, which was really good. And we got to Aaron Rodgers a little bit more also. And we played some better run defense. So I like the way we're starting to come together. And the way this next month is playing out, we got Detroit this week. I feel like that could be a win. Bears can always be a win. Cowboys, definitely a win. I mean, Panthers and Jaguars. I mean, we could string together 5 wins and then go into Tampa Bay 7-5. If you can believe that, right there in the middle of the playoff run. I mean, I can see it happening. Like I'm not being biased, but like the way our schedule is set up right now, if we can come together and be consistent and finish off these games that we should win, then I don't see why not, like why not? Last 2 weeks ago, I'm calling for Trevor Lawrence come out and for us to pick him up. But if we can be consistent on offense, protect Kirk Cousins, we still haven't seen Kirk Cousins really get in a rhythm this year. So we got to start seeing that more this week and then to continue, because
my only pushback on that is we haven't seen Kirk Cousins get in a groove yet, but we know we already know what his capabilities are. So I'm not sold that he can get you there, but I love the enthusiasm. It's a possibility.
Borba just dropped some bold predictions right there.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I will tell you this though. You have been watching a whole lot of Colin Coward. He's brainwashing you. He's making you feel a
Why?
certain
What'd
way.
he say? I haven't
He's
watched him
making,
this week. I
no,
didn't watch
okay.
him this week. What'd he say?
He's just one of the guys that thinks that Minnesota's still in it.
Well, I think
Still in it.
so. You look at the schedule, and then the way that our defense is starting to get a little bit better. I mean, why not? Don't write us off yet. I can
Yeah.
see us stringing together 5 wins in a row right here.
Dallas wins this game, baby, and we still there for the division.
See, that's ridiculous, though. That's just ridiculous, though.
Hey, but
JB.
I mean, if they beat Steelers, I mean,
If they
Yeah,
beat the
hey,
Steelers, then what the
that
heck?
that
hey,
that
hey,
says something.
honestly, I don't sound too stupid because if we do beat the Steelers, we're just in the same situation you're in.
Yeah.
You beat Green Bay, and now you got some high hopes. You looking at the schedule. You look at Dallas' schedule. You can say the same thing. We still got to play Washington. We got to play New York. We got to play Philly again. I think our hardest game is after this is going to be Baltimore, and we could take that L, no problem, because we just need to win enough to win. We
You
just
just
need
got
to
to
win
win the
enough to win the
division.
division. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Far fetched, but since you're optimistic, you made me feel a little more confident about the star on my chest.
Why not?
Yeah.
Give you some hope, too, while you're at it.
There you go, baby. Appreciate it. All right, man. Let's move on here. Let's talk these matchups. Let's break it down just a little bit and give me your predictions. We got the Ravens against the Colts. The Ravens are the favorites at -1, so it's very little.
Yeah.
My boy Des Bryant is back in the house. Got promoted from the practice squad up to the starting squad. Let's go, baby. All those years of Instagram routes have now come to life. How beautiful. Throw it up.
I think
Throw
the
it
Ravens.
up. What y'all got though? What you think? What do you think, JB?
As far as Des Bryant, his impact on the game will be very little. I feel like I don't think. I think if anything, he's a worse player than what he was 3 years ago. Never been a route runner. He can make contested catches.
Borba, have you not been watching
Literally,
Instagram?
I don't care. I can look good on Instagram. You seen it? Look, all I'm saying is Lamar Jackson and Des Bryant working together. That is, I don't see that as a good,
It's not
wide
the answer.
receiver.
Not the answer.
That's awful. I think it's awful. Okay,
Not the
so
answer.
will he have a few catches? Maybe. Will he have a touchdown? Maybe in the red zone. Maybe. Is that going to change the game? I don't know. But the thing is, I like the Colts. I like how they're playing. I like their defense. I think their defense can do enough to slow down Lamar and possibly try to turn him into a pocket quarterback. That's what you want to do. So I'm going Colts right here. I think it's gonna be a close game, maybe by 3 points. I think the Colts edge it out.
Okay, before you go, Jay, let me just remind you that T.Y. Hilton is also out of this game along with Mark Ingram. And then also on the odds, I actually had said that Baltimore was the favorite at -1. I'm looking at it now, and it actually flipped. It's Indianapolis at
Oh,
-1. Yeah, there's been a whole lot of flipping, if you know what I mean.
yeah.
But what do you think there?
Big trust. Whoop whoop. Let's go. Ravens all day.
I'm about to
Fucking
bring out my inner gangster when you said that. Big.
hey,
I
dude. There's
agree.
no way. There's no way Colts are even gonna be like. I mean, they're coming off a loss to Steelers. I mean, they feel some type of way. They're gonna go out there and just dismantle the damn Colts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it's gonna be. I'm sorry.
Here's the biggest question for me, JB. Philip Rivers. How much can you actually trust him, especially without his best wide receiver and his
I
starting
mean,
running
he's
back?
done it
You got
already
Brady
this
Marlon
season,
Mack
though.
out as well.
He's done it this season already, though. Like he's actually had a solid season, and that the thing is that he's playing behind a really one of the best offensive lines in the game right now. Like that's why his season is looking so good. Like yeah, he might be turnover prone and all that kind of stuff, but he's just got to play a decent game. I know, that Ravens defense is going to be sending it. They've gotten better, they've gotten stronger. I don't expect it to be some shootout though. I expect it to be kind of like a grinder, maybe 20 to
Yeah.
17. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think the Colts are disciplined and well coached enough to give Lamar Jackson a lot of troubles. So
Yeah.
that's yeah.
That's a valid point. That's actually, now that you mentioned that, it kind of scares me just a little bit because it reminds me of last year whenever we thought that Patrick Mahomes is just unbelievably incredible and that nobody could stop him whatsoever. And then he went over to Indianapolis, and it seemed like Indianapolis was the only team that figured it out by slowing down the game and forcing Patrick Mahomes to not get outside the pocket and create those crazy plays. It was kind of like a check down, and then just
Yeah.
tackle. That's what I'm assuming we're going to see today from Indianapolis. Is it's forcing Lamar Jackson to stay in the pocket, a whole lot of check down, and then just making clear tackles, making tackles in the backfield. That's going to be the difference in this game. So you guys watch out for that. We're going to see Indianapolis has to complete their tackles when they have them. Not the second time, not the third time. The first hit has to be
No yak.
down to the
No
ground. Yeah.
yak.
Yep, exactly.
No
But
yak. Explode through the holes on the run game.
I still have Baltimore winning this game. The only reason I say that is because Pittsburgh has one of the best defenses in the NFL. And when you saw what Lamar Jackson did getting outside the pocket, outside of those turnovers, Lamar Jackson had a pretty good game. I see him continuing to do that, but with like Geronimo said, a little bit more of an edge because they did just come off an L to a rival. So you expect them to come out hard. I got Baltimore edging out this game somewhere around 27-14.
Guys are sleeping on the Colts.
I ain't gonna lie. Every time I go against the Colts, Kevin Kelly sends me a message and goes, "Hey, keep rooting against them." So, Kevin, there you go, baby. Merry Christmas or Happy Thanksgiving. My cousin said Borba with the facts. Hey, hashtag Borba 2024.
Yeah.
What's
Put
good?
me in office, baby. I'll change
I'd
America.
rather have another 4 years of Trump.
Oh, you gonna be sleeping too, JB. All right, man. We got the Bears versus the Titans. This one, I don't even know. This is crazy how this went from being like one of the worst two teams to possibly one of the best. The Bears, obviously, their defense is solid as hell. There's a bunch of question marks over Nick Foles, which is why we asked if there's a whole lot of pressure on him. I think there is pressure, and the pressure is the fact that he may be getting benched. The only reason he's not getting benched today is because Mitchell Trubisky's out, so there's no one to bench him for. So Nick Foles is safe for another week, but this game will dictate whether or not they're going to continue to move forward with Nick Foles. I think the Titans edge it out. It's going to be a close. It's going to be a grinder. This one's going to be ugly, but I think the Titans edge it out. I mean, Derrick Henry, the guy's been balling, but damn, man, I should have let y'all go first. Ryan Tannehill is really the biggest question mark on this game. It's a matter of how he's going to play. I mean, the guy's been averaging over 250 yards a game. The only thing is we don't want to see him throw 30 to 40 times. Give the ball to Derrick Henry, feed the goddamn guy, and allow Tennessee and Ryan Tannehill to use what they do best, and that's the play action pass. That's what they're good at. So keep doing it. Derrick Henry, eat, baby. It's Thanksgiving round around the corner. It's time to eat.
Time to
you
eat.
think, baby?
I agree with everything you said, and also, I think the thing for Tennessee, they gotta take their L's in this game. Don't if you're in a 3rd and 10 plus, I don't know if that team is capable of converting those type of yard, those type of games, those big plays. They're not really a big play team besides out of the run game. So what you want to do, win the field position battle also. Back up Nick Foles as much as you can, because Nick Foles, I think he's getting outscored by since he's been a QB, he's not putting up points for that team, and he's getting outscored by so much. There's a stat on it, I can't remember, but it's not good at all. So I think Mitchell Trubisky, I hate to say it, but I think he's the Bears' best chance on winning because he can extend the play, he can run, he can do all that. And Nick Foles just isn't capable of that, and he's not putting up points for that team. So I expect him to eventually get benched soon, honestly. But I think when it comes to Tennessee, control the game. I do not let Ryan Tannehill throw for 30 plus more attempts. I don't think you need to do that. Just take your L's. Don't force nothing. Don't force any turnovers. Win the field position battle, and eventually you're going to get points out of that. So I think that's why it's going to be a slow grind out game. And I think Tennessee will eventually, they'll get the job done.
Yeah, I don't know who I'm leaning towards. I guess more like Tennessee. Um, Chicago does good, but the only thing is Tennessee. Bengals. They lost to the Bengals. Like, and that's that they weren't too bad. I mean, Tannehill had 200 plus yards throwing, 2 touchdowns, interception. So they should get the job done, but I'm not 100% on that because that was the Bengals. They put up numbers, they just
Yeah.
didn't get the W.
The thing about that Bengals loss is they got away, like we've been saying, is that they got away from their bread and butter, and that's continuing to feed the ball and not force mistakes. Like Borba
Yeah,
said, Ryan Tannehill cannot force the ball down the field. He's got to take his L's when they're there. You got to live to fight another day. Got to live to fight another day.
If you feed the ball to Henry, he still had 100 plus yards that game, and they still came out with the L. This guy's legit gonna have to put the whole team on his back and get that W for them. If it's gonna be a passing game, clearly Chicago's gonna take it.
Well, I don't know about clearly because you're forcing.
I disagree with that one.
If you're forcing Nick Foles to throw the ball, I think you're gonna win. But then again, he may be right. Nick Foles has this weird stretch.
He does have his ups and downs. That's the only thing. You don't know what you're getting.
If he goes through this hot streak, it's a wrap, son. But I don't see it happening. Just to
I feel like he's never been in rhythm yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's just never gotten anything really going. And he's got some receivers. Like he's got some weapons, but he's just, I don't know.
Some key injuries for this game, just to let you guys know. Jadeveon Clowney's out for the Tennessee Titans, along with Adam Humphries. Their wide receiver. He
hasn't been doing nothing anyways.
Yeah, and then in Chicago, we're looking at their center being out, along with just Mitchell Trubisky. So those are the two key injuries that they do have. And Tennessee just lost another lineman as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they respond with the offensive line being a little depleted. But all right, let's move on here. We got the Seattle Seahawks against the Buffalo Bills. This game is super interesting. Outside of the Saints and Bucks, this is probably the game to watch for me. We got Josh Allen, like you said. You're not completely sold on him yet, JB. But they are playing one of the worst pass defenses. I believe the Seattle Seahawks are ranked at 31 as far as pass defense, giving up yards. And what does Buffalo do great? They pass the ball down the field extremely well, especially, with the addition of Stephon Diggs, which was probably one of the best trades in the offseason, in my opinion. I think both of you guys won on that end, given what Jefferson's been doing. So, but that adds to what Buffalo's offense can do. Stretching the ball down the field and allowing them to run, that's something that's important today. I think they need to be able to run the ball. Seattle does have a better rush defense, but they got to pound the ball down to open it up downfield. So if they don't do that, I see Buffalo losing, but this is completely on the Buffalo Bills. I think Seattle's going to do what they do, but Buffalo has to find a way to get that offense going. What do you think? What do you guys think? Go ahead. Feel free, whichever one wants to jump in.
I saw the game with Pats and Bills last week, and I seen a lot of their struggles. And I just think Seattle is gonna overtake this game. I don't see them having an answer to DK. So I just feel like Seattle's just gonna take it. That's my opinion. Plus, Wilson is playing at a high level as usual.
MVP level.
Yeah. So I don't see Bill stopping them. Again, I don't like Bills, but their last week. They obviously played banged up Patriots. With no receivers. Now you're gonna play MVP playing quarterback and receivers like DK. I don't see how they're gonna even answer on defense. Guys.
My only pushback on that would be you can also make the argument the other way around. You could say that Cam Newton didn't have anybody to throw to. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with that. scratch that. JB, where you at?
That's what I mean. That's what I was saying. Like Cam didn't have no receivers, and they still, I mean, they still
They
held
still put
the
up a fight. The
Bills
thing,
24 to
the
21.
thing is, the Patriots were playing really good like the first month of the season. Like I was like sold, like, oh, Cam Newton's has a resurrecting career and all that. But anyways, the what we're talking about right now. I'm going Seahawks 100%. I think Josh Allen still needs to prove himself, and like this is his time to prove himself. Like, but the better quarterback is on the field. That's Russell Wilson. So he's got to outplay Russell. He's got to lead his team. That defense has got to make plays for Buffalo though. If they want a chance, that defense is going to have to make plays, and I think they will. I think they'll make a couple plays. They're going to keep the game kind of close. I think this game's kind of a shootout. Maybe like 31-28, something like that. But I just think if Russell Wilson gets the ball last, he's winning. Like he's winning. So I mean, I feel 100% confident in Seattle getting a win this week. Uh, Buffalo will make it hard, but I just think Russell Wilson is going to outplay Josh Allen. Josh Allen might have a hiccup here or there, um, and they gotta do a lot more. I guess I don't know. I can't really put the right words together, but I just feel like Seattle they're just superior. I mean, they're just superior, and that's what I mean by the Bills not being sold as one of the top teams in the AFC. Like they're good, but are they going to be contenders? Contenders, in January going into February, will they be able to compete? They got to win these type of games to build that confidence that they belong. Because they
Yeah.
haven't. I mean, they haven't belonged in 20 plus years, so they got to keep they got to find ways to win these type of games, and I have yet to see that. So I'm going Seattle.
My only pushback to you guys here is when you look at the strength of schedules. I understand what Russell Wilson's been doing is completely phenomenal, but have they really played anyone? I mean, when you look at the schedule, have they really played anybody? And all these teams are just putting up mad numbers on them. I mean, we're talking about Dallas, Miami. San Francisco is not what we expected them to be, given all the injuries that they also have. Minnesota is not what we expected them to be, also given what the injuries that they're going through, and then just the setbacks that they're going through as well. And they played Arizona, and they lost to them. So you can make the argument that sure we've seen an explosive offense, but they haven't really played much talent defensively, and that's not their
Yeah,
fault. I mean, they're playing the teams that are in front of them, so hoorah to them, right? And they're putting up the points, so we know that the offense definitely can ball out. My only question is have we seen Metcalf be double teamed yet, or really where defenses focus completely on him and force Russell Wilson to beat him, or force offenses to beat them other ways? That's my only question there. I think today we're going to see where Metcalf does get a lot of attention, and it's going to be interesting to see what Russell Wilson can do whenever his number one player is completely shut out. There's been a lot of debates about him being the best wide receiver in the NFL, right? Or even comparisons as far as him and people are going as far as Megatron, which I think is ridiculous. And one of the best arguments that I saw was you don't make that argument until we see him ball out when there's two people on him the entire game. I think that's what we're going to see today. It's going to be interesting to see. And you got to remember, it's all on Russell Wilson. They have no running game. All their running backs are out. As of right now, they're sitting on a third string running back that we haven't really seen do anything. So Bills should have the edge. In my opinion, they should have the edge. They're a more healthier team. They just got to get that offense rolling. My only question is what is Russell Wilson going to do when Metcalf is not an option?
yeah,
Do you
that's
guys think
true. That's true.
are we going to see Russell Wilson force it? I mean,
No,
we saw that against Arizona in overtime.
no, yeah, and that's the thing that's always bothered me with Russell Wilson. He'll play great, but he always has those one or two plays throughout the game where you're like, what the heck's going on? Like, like that's why I've always kind of said it. You guys have always like looked at me weird or whatever, but I don't see. I don't know. I just don't see that today. Like, I feel like Buffalo. I mean, Seattle's defense is gonna give up big plays. That's what they've done all season. I mean, they're like leading the league in like most like big plays given up. I believe. They're top three or something like that. But So that's why I'm calling it a shootout. But the thing is, if you want to compete with Russell Wilson, and if he's getting ball last, I'm going Russell Wilson 100%. So like a quarterback on an elite level like Russell, I think he's going to outplay Josh Allen. So the Bills are going to have to find other ways to stay in the game. And like I don't know what I'm trying to say, but if it's close and it's a shootout,
I
I'm
mean,
taking Russell Wilson. Every time,
it won't
especially
be a
over Josh
shootout.
Allen.
It won't be a shootout. Josh Allen hasn't scored a touchdown in 2 weeks. He scored a rushing touchdown last week. It's not going to be a shootout. If it's a shootout, it's going to be just pure Seattle shooting out. I mean, he's got
Ooh.
David Moore. He's got DJ Dallas that just showed out last week. I
Yeah,
mean, obviously
yeah,
DK.
What the
I
hell? That's a
mean,
good point. That's a good point. He had a great game last week. 2
yeah.
touchdowns.
I mean, so like, yeah, and Allen. I mean, he'll get some yardage, but I mean, he hasn't had a throwing touchdown, and I don't know how long, but I know for sure in 2 weeks he
Yeah,
hasn't.
yeah, and I think that could
So
change
it's
this
all
week.
Seattle.
It could
I'm
definitely
putting
change
my
this week
money on
against Seattle's
Buffalo, baby.
defense.
Buffalo Mafia, here we come.
Yeah,
Here we
you're a
come.
Buffalo fan.
I'm not a Buffalo fan. I'm just saying they're coming, baby.
He's just hurt
I just think
Dallas.
Seattle's
I
gonna
really
get
think
it done.
Buffalo. I really think Buffalo edges this out. I mean, I
I mean,
100% agree on y'all statements. I just,
If Josh Allen plays good, yeah, why not?
yeah.
I just don't think he's gonna play great. I don't think he's gonna play great.
I just,
I don't think he's gonna outplay Russell.
I think that defense gets exposed today. I mean, not that they haven't already
They
been
have
getting
been
exposed,
already
but
all week. I
yeah.
mean, all year.
But they're coming off a big game against San Francisco. People are hyping them up. That they're bringing it together, so on and so forth. I'm not 100% sure if Jamal Adams is playing today. I need to check that out. I need to look on that. But that's going to be a difference maker as well. But I do have Buffalo edging it out. I think they edge it out in a close game.
Okay,
Um,
respectable.
that's my risky bet for the weekend. I don't feel comfortable with that bet, but it's my risky bet. I like the odds at plus 145. So why not? Why not? Why not? Why not Josh Allen? All right,
because he
the
hasn't thrown
game of
two
the weekend.
touchdowns. I mean, touchdowns.
Hey. All right, let's go. Let's go to the
That's
main
why.
event of the evening. The main event of the evening. Hey, Earl, I'm not gonna bet it because it's too risky. It's just my risky bet, like to other people if they want to bet it. But all right, man. Saints versus Bucks. Sunday
He's just
night
trying to make
football.
y'all lose.
We talked about where the pressure is going to be. Michael Thomas is coming back. We saw the type of game he had in week 1 against this Tampa Bay defense. It seems like Tampa Bay is clicking on all cylinders, so it makes this game super scary for New Orleans. What do you guys think? Tampa Bay at home? Who y'all got?
Well, all right. So I guess I'll start, but I don't think Tampa Bay is clicking on all cylinders. I think they're very spotty. Like they're up and down. To play like how they just played this last week against the Giants. That's when you start questioning, like, what is this team? Like, who are they? And the thing is, I don't think this team's going to be really clicking until late November and December. That's when I think they're really going to get dangerous, and so I don't think they've hit their stride yet. I really don't. So and the like yeah. So I just don't think they've hit their stride yet. But do they win this game? I think so. I think so. I'll take Tom Brady over Drew Brees today for sure, for sure. And uh, the capability, like the potential of this offense, is only going to grow. So I think it's just too much for that Saints defense to handle. And if they could just be physical, how they were against Green Bay a few weeks ago, also get the ground game going. Just because I see the Saints as like kind of a finesse team. Also, I don't see them being a physical type team. They're kind of like in Green Bay's category with physicality. So if Tampa Bay can set the tone early, get things going for Tom, no turnovers, Tom plays a good game, I expect the Buccaneers to win this game. I don't like the Saints offense right now. I don't like how Drew Brees is playing right now. Like I guess he's playing decent or whatever, but I just don't like how everything is so short. He's not throwing the ball downfield. They're not making big plays downfield. Michael Thomas is really good, you know, 10, 10 maybe 15 yards from line of scrimmage, but I don't see nothing else from him like that. Like so, no big plays. I don't see any of that out of the Saints offense. So I'm going Tampa Bay. 100%.
Tampa Bay, woo woo. I don't know
Boy,
where the hell it
Martin.
came from. I don't know what the hell happened, but I see red on that right screen. A whole lot of red.
Believe it.
It's gonna take you back to week 1. You know that sour taste losing to them in week 1. Tampa Bay, it's gonna go out there. Brady's gonna show out. He's gonna show that he made the right moves again. Moving to Tampa Bay. He's obviously gonna prove that this is Tampa Bay's division, and that's gonna be the end of the story.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Tampa Bay edges this out. I actually don't think they edge it out. I think they actually break it open. I think they win somewhere around 30-20. The reason I say that is there's a whole lot of hype around Tom Brady, but let's not forget about this goddamn defense. This team is only giving up 20.8 points a game, barely giving up 100 yards of rushing. That's what's important here. Alvin Kamara is going to get shut down. It's going to force Drew Brees to have to throw the ball down the field. I don't feel good about Drew Brees throwing the ball down the field. How about you guys? This 40-year-old man does not have the shoulder anymore. It's not the arm. It's the shoulder, baby. It's not rotating the same way. I got Tampa Bay defense balling out today.
Defense.
I see a pick. I see a pick in the future, baby. And they close this game out. Drew Brees, no mas. Got the Bucks. Got the Bucks winning. Guys, I appreciate y'all joining me on the show today. It's wonderful to see y'all. I love the outfit change there. Go Cowboys.
Already with the Tom Brady jersey.
Hey,
yeah, there you go, baby. Go Cowboys. Skull. And Tampa Bay, baby. This is Speaking Out Loud. Don't forget, presented to you by Amity Boutique. NM, check them out. Get your order in ASAP. This is it. Appreciate you. Enjoy y'all's NFL Sunday. And cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Let's go.
Later.
Peace out, brother.